I don't know if you guys have ever had a director upset with you about how you described their movie.
Oh my gosh.
But I had that happen once. Well,
Was it David Lynch?
Yes. But I mean, it was funny, but it was the first time I had to describe what Blue Velvet was about, and I was 17 years old. No. He was like, you don't ever have to tell them anything about what we're making. You could just talk about that we had fun.
Hi, I'm Saya Rankin, and this is the Hollywood Reporter's Actors Roundtable. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to start off with an icebreaker question about icebreakers. Okay. And I'm wondering if anyone has a really good or fun story of the first time you met or got to know one of your co-stars. And I actually do have a story of one of yours in mind if we need to pick someone to start.
I'm curious now.
And it's Jessie's story about going out dancing with Paul.
Oh, lovely.
On Hamnet at Joy Face in the East Village.
I told you that in absolute secrecy.
What kind of dancing?
Was it in New York? Yeah. It's great. They play like ABBA and all the old hits. And I was there last year and he was there at the same time. We would just go and get really drunk and dance to ABBA, which is a good thing to do with Paul Mescal when you're getting to know him.
Mm-hmm. Lynn had me and Rob do interpretive dance lessons before.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
What?
And then our first day on set was like a naked scene where we were like attacking each other like tigers. Yeah. But it was kind of nice that it was day one, because then it wasn't like hanging over our heads. Yeah.
That's actually brilliant.
Helpful.
It's brilliant.
Once it's done, it's done.
And if you know what the genitals look like, you don't wonder.
Then I don't have to think about it.
It is a thing. It's like, not that I want to know, I just sometimes...
Absolutely.
Once you know, it's all right. It's fine.
It's an abstract
done.
idea until you see it, and then you're like, we're normal. We're the same.
Retweet.
Yeah. Was that what the interpretive... Do you have that for girls, too? We should probably clarify. The interpreaptive dance was one thing, and then the naked scene was the next. It wasn't a naked interpretive dance.
It was not a naked interpretive dance lesson.
I mean, getting to know her, mine pales in comparison, because we really just came to my house and sat on the floor and ate crudité. That was it.
That sounds lovely.
We talked for like 5 hours, got to know each other, and then the next time we were singing.
Nobody was naked.
Nobody was naked.
Booze?
Strange.
No booze. We're both like, well, I'm a teetotaler. She's not necessarily a teetotaler, but she doesn't drink very much. So we're singers this way.
Is there anyone, I guess, that you have worked with recently that you do have to do this process with, or you're already like super close with everyone?
No, on the film Is This Thing On with Will Arnett, we had met but didn't know each other well.
It was more you and Bradley. Then.
Yeah, we're old friends, and same with Bradley and Will. So we kind of dove into a workshop. We had dreams together. We shared dreams and childhoods and all kinds of things, because particularly in our movie, there's no backstory. It's about a marriage, and in the first scene, it's falling apart. So the idea of kind of coming in knowing everything and then knowing nothing about how we got there, which is sometimes how things break up, was amazing. And he's hilarious, so it was always entertaining, but it, seemed very organic and beautiful.
You guys did dream work, I guess, is that the term, for Hamnet as well, right?
Yeah, you kind of just start being conscious of your dreams and writing them down and using them as a way to kind of abstractly get into a scene. And it doesn't like tangibly show itself, it just is an essence of something. And I always feel like when I open up a book or a world, you're unconscious, if you're working, like, I don't know, in the river of it, it kind of starts coming through in your dreams in some way.
This group is so fascinating because we have such a wide spectrum of like experience in the industry, and I'm really curious if at all or when any of you felt like you had the full autonomy and creative control over your decision making and career, and like when that happened to you, and if that has happened yet.
I feel as though we all have that at the beginning, but we just don't know it. Because I think sometimes we sort of relinquish the power to everybody else, but actually our no's are our own and our yeses are our own, and we're sort of pressured into doing some things that we just don't need to or want to do. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, I've always been really clear on the things that I want to do, even when I was at the beginning of this. Not that they would make me anything other than I was. If I was new, I was new. If I wasn't, I wasn't. But I could pick the things I wanted to do. And I guess that for me feels like autonomy. And now, of course, the choice to really do anything feels like it's in my hands, but I don't think it was ever not there. It's just louder now.
You had to like access it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of opinions about the team that we have surrounding us when we're making decisions. Yeah. There's a lot of opinions, and you can be more heavily influenced at times, but it does feel like now I feel like my team understands that the way I feel is the way I feel, and it's probably not going to change because I've thought about it. But maybe I thought about it less, or like I felt like I didn't have any. But I feel like I have. It feels like full autonomy. I think. Do we all?
I feel that the signals that you get from what is right from inside is like really small in the beginning, and then they get kind of stronger and stronger. Maybe the more you get like scolded by experiences of like making a choice where you didn't know exactly if it was right, and also like, who am I to say that this is not the best thing because so many people are invested in this project already. But then, and also respecting so many different kinds of projects. So then like actually really having all those experiences of like feeling not that good about some choices that you made, not truly aligned with yourself. And then that feeling would just get stronger and stronger, I think. And now, last few years, I feel like I'm on the right path and know what I want. But it's taken a long time.
How much does producing like factor into the feeling of autonomy? Like, is it something that people want to do, or you sort of feel like you find yourself in a situation where you have to produce in order to make the things you want?
All different kinds of producing.
I feel like the definition is like becoming more and more mercurial, where like really it's, I mean, there's the different titles, like what Amanda said. So like, you know, there's like executive producing, which can just be kind of like a credit E-suite or something. And then there's like producing because, you know, you connected the material to the financier or the filmmaker or something. But I kind of feel like acting is producing, like, because you're in a lot of cases, it could be the one that is the reason why something gets made. And filmmaking is just like all about problem solving. Like, you're on set, everything's like, there's just like one problem after another, and it's like everybody does have to like pitch in. But I feel like when I've produced projects, the producing work like starts before I'm on set. And then by the time I'm on set, it's like normal actor stuff, which is like, oh, we have an issue? Okay, let's try to figure it out. And, you know.
If you guys were to describe on each of your films, a big problem that had to be sort of fixed and figured out, what would that, like, I would think maybe even on Is This Thing On, it was the time. I mean, they started working on this movie earlier this year, and you guys made it. I'm not sure if that's the thing you had to figure out, but yeah, I'm curious if there was one sort of like solve or fix that was in the way for anyone's project. I heard that your first day you flew overnight from the Oscars.
Yeah, it was tight. It was very
yeah.
tight. I mean, we finished the movie in May, and it's coming out, which is crazy.
Wow.
But I think, you know, going back to even the previous conversation, it's interesting because even, fixing a problem or being a producer or trying to find autonomy in our work. We've chosen storytelling as a place where we are trying to also find deep self, right? Deep connection to self, our own autonomy. But it's a collaborative art. So I feel like sometimes having autonomy or knowing what I want in this space is sort of like having autonomy in a partnership. It's a little complicated because you want to involve the other and you say you know what you want or you know how to fix a problem, but you also need the others to be your true teammates, your true partners in the craft of or in the story that you're trying to make together. And that always interests me. Like Renate and I were talking before we started about how lucky we've been when we found a filmmaker that we work with numerous times, how lucky that is, how lucky it is to find each other through art. And then you feel like, oh, okay, I know my place in this whole. Sometimes I find like it's very hard to know what I want or how to fix a problem if I'm not connected to what works for everybody. And so even in the case of that, it was, I came into something on Is This Thing On that was a group effort and Bradley and Will had written it, but they wanted a female character to really look at the relationship in it. And luckily for me, invited me into the creative process of building it in a short amount of time.
When you look at what films are out and even putting this table together, there's sort of the question of like movies that women are in and movies that are about women. And that hasn't always been, like even like a lead actress hasn't always been in a movie that's about her character. And like, Is This Thing On is a movie that could easily have been just about Will Arnett's journey through his divorce, and it is not. It is about your journey. It is about you guys as a couple. But I guess my question there is like, is it still easy to find movies that are about your character as opposed to your character is just in it? No. Okay.
That's the short answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still...
Do you care if it passes the Bechdel test?
Do you know what? I didn't care, but now I do.
Yeah.
Now I do.
Yeah.
I'm always like, how much is she speaking and what is she saying when she does speak? Because I don't know that you can tell a story if she's sort of silent only. We can all speak with our eyes, of course, and I love when we can, but conversation is conversation. And so I think I do. It's such that's a great question. 'Cause I didn't before, but like, I do now. I do. Yeah.
What's the word? Bechdel test?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard it before.
How often does the female character speak, and when she speaks, are they still speaking about the male character? The Wizard of Oz famously passes the Bechdel test.
To that end, actually, Renate, I wanted to talk to you about working with the directors. Like, and I guess anyone could speak to this as well, but like, how do you know when a relationship with a director is going to become a thing that is lasting? And on a like slightly sillier level, like what are the social dynamics and like niceties that go into that? Like how do you take we connected on this movie to like we're actually going to turn this into more things? Is it like
I think it's really rare to have that connection like with other people in your life, like relationships in your life, to have a strong relationship where you have a deep understanding of some themes or some perspectives. You just know that you have it. And then I think we just mutually felt on the set of Worst Person in the World with Joachim Trier, the director, that we had like more to talk about and we had more things we wanted to explore together. And then I think it was just, we didn't really say it, and it's up to him. In Norway, I think Europe, I think it's normal. I'm not, now I'm maybe saying something wrong, but that it's the director that writes and directs, and it's his vision. And then it's not, at least in Norway, not so much an actor who goes and gets something together. It's maybe almost the opposite in Norway, where if you're too famous or you become the star, it's kind of like a little bit in the way of you getting big things. Joachim and Eskil, the co-writer, went into the room and then they also have to decide if they want to work with me again, and they wrote that character for me. And of course, that's a big privilege as an actor.
What do you do now that you're a star?
I try to pretend I'm not in Norway. It's like I really love like finding people, establishing something that feels really authentic and real, and that we want to explore something and have the same vision of what something could be or a character could be, and then actually build it from there. I've almost never got a role from an audition. I'm really bad at it. So to have that and to have developed that over the years has been so important.
Did your relationship change with Joachim the second time? Like, did you work differently together after you worked?
Yeah, it was because Worst Person in the World is so open and free, and that character is so naive, and she kind of runs around in this summer night in Oslo. And then Nora is really angry, and I don't do like the where you like full on do the role all the time, but it's like a transference of feelings, so you get a little affected by it. And I talked to him in a different tone I was like, yes, yeah, I'll do that. It was a little bit different, and this character had more emotional weight, and she was also depressed throughout the movie, and that was like it affected our communication actually. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, it's interesting. It's all good now. Yeah.
You're closer because of it.
Yeah.
It's intimate.
Yeah.
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 Which is necessary, I think, after a while. You
Yeah.
can't stop it.
Yeah. And then after you have that experience and you go into something that was maybe a little bit more difficult, and you come out in the end and you're still friends and you're still, you know that it was valuable, then you actually, get closer, and it's...
And that enhances things too. It's just, as you grow as an artistic couple, sort of in a way, your journeys as artists grow, and the things that you create grow. It's just it seems like the best of both worlds. You know, don't mix business with pleasure, or don't mix business with relationships and love. And like I just don't agree with that in most cases, because it does create, like, you're gonna keep creating something deeper and be more fulfilled by it.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, somebody does something really fucked up, and then you're not friends anymore. Yeah, fuck that. But like, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's so ripe with art and you know more emotion, and it's just it'll be interesting what you guys continue to do.
I'm curious, if I may, Cynthia, to understand on a film that has these, two worlds, two chapters you're gifting us with, right? And the same filmmaker. If that impacted your communication, or how the experience was to be in this second iteration of her journey, because you made it all
At once. Yeah.
But did you shoot the first half and then the second half, or you were shooting simultaneously?
Shooting simultaneously.
Because they're,
they're
are we allowed to give things away?
Yeah,
It's such,
they're very,
it's
very
such
different.
radical, different energy.
So what, you shot them both at the same time?
At the same time.
Like a year.
Oh my God.
Like 6.
Yeah.
That's a good.
So we
But
would
it
shoot.
feels like there's years apart with just, in terms of your performance. It's
So
incredible.
some days you would be shooting for number 2, and some days you would be shooting for 1.
Sometimes on the same day. Actually.
Oh my God.
I didn't know. So, when we shoot the For Good, the actual song, we shot as rain cover.
Wow.
We were meant to be shooting something for film 1.
Oh my God.
We were outside, and then it was raining, so we went and shot film 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they just tell you that in the morning when you came in?
Yeah, it's
You have to be ready.
What was that like? What did you feel?
kooky. But I think that there's something, I so trusted everyone who was on board, and I really trusted my director. That's why I say this, because he was so kind and open and thoughtful, that when we did get to those places, he really sort of provided the room for us to get it to where we needed to get to before we began, So when we were ashes and teens and young, that's where we were. And when we were in the second movie, where we were all grown and in our sort of power, that felt like a different atmosphere altogether. It was a trip. It really was, because even the body feels different. What we're in feels different. How we move feels different. But we knew what we were walking into before we even began to film. We had rehearsals to just sort of settle the arc, the emotional arc that each of these characters were going to go on, so that when we had to be dropped in, we were dropped in. Yeah.
I think that sounds kind of nice. Like there's something like a lightness of touch with that isn't like we're going in now, that you can keep kind of dexterous and alive and just be like, okay, I'm here now, and not pressurize it.
It's
to
a
kind
sort of surrender.
You're
just sort of like, okay, this is how we're going to be doing it, and this will be it.
Yeah.
And there's something quite lovely about being able to just let it be. Okay, we're going to be on film 2 today. Fine. We'll be on film 1 today. Fine. Totally different makeup, totally different hair, totally different.
So you can't have an off wake up. Well, at least you're green no matter what. We could never do that with X-Men because sometimes I'd be blue, and sometimes I'd be like blonde.
Yeah.
That also makes me think about like any given day you could be doing something really physical or something not. But is there some sort of like magic trick to the night before or the morning of to like being physically ready? And I feel like actually for you and on Ann Lee, the same thing, because that was a very physical movie, but I don't know if anyone
I think the training beforehand was really helpful. I was in wires and stunts and all of that all the time. So having the chance to get used to what that felt like before we begun filming was, invaluable, because it meant that once we were there, if that's what we're doing today, then that's what we're doing today. Wow. And I already knew what it felt like to be in the harness for hours, or be in the rig for hours, or whatever that might have been. I already knew what it felt like to be sat doing this makeup forever, however long that would be. So the physical working out and the training for it beforehand was helpful, so that when we got there, I was sort of ready for it. All of that was put in place before we began, So it's helpful to just know.
Yeah. Amanda, did you do anything different or special to prepare for all of your
I think it's this
singing and
with
dancing
anything that's tightly choreographed and especially stunts, when you're really working with physical things and you have to be aligned with a lot of people, you do get that like luxurious preparation period that you don't get for other genres. And it's like, if there's music and movement involved, there's just a built-in amount of time. And that's like, thank God, because I felt the same. There's a lot, like my brain is not clicked into the movement in a way that, like, I'm always very uncomfortable by it, by dancing. And a lot of this was more, it's so, but it's I think
you are really beautiful in it.
Thank you.
It's really,
Thank you.
I would never have known that you were uncomfortable.
Thanks. Well, it's preparation, right? Like I felt like I needed a lot of time because I'm so uncomfortable with movement. Also, it's very intuitive movement, so it's like different than like Mamma Mia, And
But were you uncomfortable in that one too?
Also, very much so. But until I understood until I had to just work extra hard at getting it in my muscles and the muscle memory of it. But with this too, it's just you just have to do it enough repetition, and then you can let your head take over again for the emotional space. Because but you got to put in the work to get it into your body. Like your body has to be ready for it. Because if we had no money to shoot this, so we didn't know what we were going to shoot sometimes, as much as we could, right? But the preparation's everything.
Yeah.
Because there's too many things happening at once. Even if it's just a drama, and we're always doing acrobatics in some way. So as soon as it gets physical, that's when I'm like, I need 3 months. Share
Sometimes things
but
are just moving so fast that when it happens, there's not really much time to feel embarrassed. Once you feel embarrassed, we're shooting again.
Yeah.
So you feel it, and then it's gone, because you don't have the time to like.
Even
be
with
in
fear
it.
too.
Yeah.
Like when you're afraid of a scene or I always get afraid of like getting really emotional in the scene. Like easy to get emotional and then shoot, and you're like, your character's already crying or hysterically like heaving. But when you have to start from 0 and go to 60, that's always like the most terrifying scene. And that fear, you just don't have time to feel anymore once you start shooting. Thank God.
Yeah.
Jen, that reminds me, Jen, of several scenes in Die My Love. I'm thinking of the scene in the bathroom where you're like ripping off the wallpaper. Or there's this, like moments like that. Are those, do you feel instantly comfortable?
I wish I had your nails.
Oh yeah, your nails.
Are they okay?
That you could viscerally feel your finger, everyone's fingers, I think, in that scene.
And then when the following scenes when you have plasters on the band-aids all over,
Yeah.
and each of the,
Yeah, rough.
What were those like really vulnerable moments, or even the interpretive dance that you were doing to get ready? Like, are you immediately comfortable in moments like that, or do you have to get comfortable?
It's kind of that like too much freedom fear. Like improving is fun, but before you do it, it's like really scary. You know, like it's easier if like your lines are written down and then someone tells you when to say them and how to say it. And Lynn was really kind of hands off by the time we got to set. Like we spent weeks, years. I mean, we talked about the character for years and her circumstances for years, and and then we got there weeks before, and we didn't like rehearse and like in the way of like saying the lines out loud, but we like talked about everything. So she kind of like built up this world, and then by the time we got on set, she kind of stepped back, which like is amazing and scary. But yeah, like if she would just kind of like set up the camera and then tell me that the camera was just going to watch my character like around the house, and then it's like action. And so it was scary, but like freeing.
In the bathroom scene, let's use that as an example. Like what was on the page?
In the bathroom, what was written was, she destroys the bathroom. So I did
How many
that.
times did you do that?
We could only do it once.
when you scratch the wall like that, is that actually you? Like is
Yes. So what I did was I went like that.
Yes.
And then in post,
yes,
they peeled some of it off.
Okay.
But I was just kind of
scratching
at it. But it wasn't, Because
No,
the fingers, the blood,
the improv of everything is so terrifying too, because we could really hurt ourselves because we're feeling so much. And that's always like, how far do you want me to go? And I'm also thinking in my head, is this enough? And then nobody yells cut, and you're like hurting yourself. So like it becomes almost sometimes unsafe, and then things like that, like what's real and what isn't. And like, did you feel like exhausted? Like what? How, when you're feeling that much and you're given so much space, or you're just walking. Like, how do you know when you're done?
it kind of felt, I had anxiety about the one take thing, it was just like me and Chris, the camera guy, in the bathroom, like, okay. That was scary. Once it started going, it was like living like an intrusive thought out loud. It was like pretty fun. Like how often do you just like kind of want to do that? Like take a shampoo bottle and just like, and like smash things. Like it was actually like fun. And it's harder to do something more nuanced, like what you were describing, where like you start at zero and then work up the like that's really nuanced. This was just kind of like a rage room, I just had to remember who was doing it, like, because she is very like matter of fact about everything. So like, she's just like, I'm gonna just try the bathroom.
Yeah,
now.
you have to filter
it's not
it through
like
that.
Me, where I'd be
Exactly.
like, yeah, like she's like very frank about it.
That's what I worry about. Like I had to go nuts in this other movie, and this is what I'm like. My anxiety as I talk about is coming from that, remembering it, and just like go nuts, throw shit everywhere. And I mean, someone almost slipped. Like glass was almost. I mean, it was really. It felt very dangerous, and also I kept forgetting that. Oh wait, no, a second. I'm not me, because it would. I just had to. It was less freeing than I thought it was going to be. Because I was scared that I was doing it all wrong, and then I got in my head, and then I'm like, I have to be so it was like I was less present even.
I actually feel like several of these films really kind of explore the idea of like motherhood. Jen, I'm curious, like if you've noticed like how people who've seen the movie want to talk to you about it, but like I think about like wine mom, like you got this mama culture is like one side of the spectrum, and this side of the spectrum is like no, this is like,
I need help.
yeah, yes, exactly. Like you can't, no amount of like cursive word signs is going to like help this woman.
It's a privilege to like talk about something that's 10 years ago we weren't really talking about it. We didn't really know what it was, and I also went through it. I had really bad postpartum with my second, that I was actually pregnant with when we were making this. So I didn't know that I was about to just go through the whole thing, and then I had to watch cuts of the movie while I was suffering from postpartum. So that was a wild ride. But I mean, I have had a couple people that have told me, I didn't, that was how I was feeling. I wouldn't have, I really appreciate that, which is great. But everybody, more than any other movie I've ever made, like people walk away with different kind of feelings about, like, it's like very ripe for kind of projection for your own, relationships, family. Like it hasn't really been like one conversation. But yeah, I have talked a lot about postpartum in the last 6 weeks for sure.
Yeah. But that also makes me think, like, obviously no one is going to take a movie project and immediately think about like what the press tour is, right? Like that's not why you pick things. But do you guys think about like, oh, this is something I'm going to have to talk about for, if the movie is successful, potentially a year of my life? Or like, does that ever factor into any of your conversations? Or is there ever a point at which you're like, ooh, this is now bringing in a lot of my own personal life? Or I don't know, does that at any point?
I should have. Like, I get what you're hinting at. I'm kidding. No, I get it. I see what you're saying. No, I was actually really surprised when I started doing this, because I've always been really strict about, like, I don't want to talk about my kids. I don't want to tell a story, whatever. And then but I'm like making this movie that's about being a mom, and it's kind of impossible not to. I mean, I've just landed with, like, I talk about, like, my experience as a mother, and not them. But I did realize that, like, it was not something that I had considered.
It's so funny. I really struggled to have that like period where you have to, I have to articulate what I did, and I have to put it into words, what I did back then, a year ago. You never think you're going to talk about it or be an advocate for anything when you're doing the movie. And then you end up in conversations with people having really like experiences seeing it. And I really appreciate when other actors do that. And I watch these interviews all the time because I'm so curious about other people's processes, but doing it myself, I think it is really hard, and it's a weird part of being an actor, going in and like putting into words what you did.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite of what you do on set. Yeah,
it's a really, really crazy.
I find it like can narrow the experience. Like also, like you said, everybody can have a completely personal, unique relationship to whatever you've made. And sometimes I kind of wish we didn't have to talk about it at all. We could just like put it out there.
You have to turn into a salesman. And it's just, all of it is the opposite of what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. We made the movie. We've got to help promote it. Like, it's a business.
But we're not necessarily experts on what we're talking about. And so it's like, we just have to come from our own experiences. And sometimes it feels like maybe too much at a certain time. Like, maybe we don't want to be advocates right now in this moment.
I'm also so bad at, like, I cannot for the life of me tell you what a movie is about without making it sound like
me neither.
The last thing on earth you want to say. I'll probably start with like the ending.
And they turn often to the actors when the director definitely doesn't want to tell you what his movie's about or her movie's about. Musicians are not going to say what the intention was of the song or the record. But the actors often become the spokespeople of, this was the intention and this is what it's really about. And I don't know if you guys have ever had a director upset with you about how you described their movie, but I had that happen once. Well,
Was it David Lynch?
Yes. But I mean, it was funny, but it was the first time I had to describe what Blue Velvet was about, and I was 17 years old. He was like, you know, you don't ever have to tell them anything about what we're making. You know, you could just talk about that we had fun. And I was like, oh, I don't have to describe.
How on earth would you know that if somebody asked you a question? You
But
answer it.
by the way, and then I betrayed that because I'm still trying to explain what
Do you
a
remember how
movie's
you
about.
described it?
I have no idea, but I was probably like, yeah, there's light and there's dark and I'm the good girl and you know, I don't know.
When you're in making it, I don't have any like absolute idea what I'm doing at all, like, or a projected idea like of what. When it feels the most organic is when it's unconscious, and maybe in hindsight you can look back at things at moments in your life and say, oh right, that story was meeting that thing at that point in my life, or culture, or what I wanted to say in the language that I was curious about. But in the moment, I mean, I never want to really project any idea of what the women that I play are meant to be. I want to like go just down into the river with them and let them have their own voice with it. And sometimes I get angry with myself because I think they become sound bites, like, and you're trying to find a sound bite to like narrow this like idea of what, but we're full of so much. It's never just one idea. And that's the beautiful thing. Like I remember when I did Lost Daughter, which was, you know, a woman who left her children, and it was such an interesting thing to like share, because some women would come and like it was like oxygen to them, like they could be seen. And then I remember meeting many women who were like, how could you do that? Which is also true and beautiful, and I get that side of that response to it too. And I guess our job is to contain and create vessels for all reflections to be felt and seen in the women.
You're saying like when you're doing it, you don't know her. Do you feel like now you have that, or are you still kind of?
In ways, but like, I mean, I kind of feel like she's still figuring it out. Like she's going to go out into the world and beyond me and have her own little other journey with other people that she meets. So yes, but it's not concrete. Like it's like a living, breathing thing that if it works well, it like is bigger than what I think she is anyway.
When you were speaking of, and I'm sure you had, this is not a scene that I would imagine would make you like uncomfortable with projecting, but I think of the big scene where you have a very loud, visceral cry. Let's just describe it as that. How did you get yourself there on the day?
Well, it wasn't in the script, that moment. It was just, you know, it was the moment that my child dies in the script, which is unfathomable. And I guess my job in exploring grief was to try and touch the edges of that in as honest a way possible. And the little boy who played Hamnet, Jack B. Jupe, is so extraordinary.
Gorgeous.
And Chloe is such an amazing director, because with the lightest of touches, like she kind of recognizes what she needs to contain and create as a container for the like ritual to open so that you can go wherever you need to go in that scene. And I think we maybe have shot that setup like 3 times or something, and that scream came out on the 3rd time. But we're all kind of, I mean, I don't know how to, there's no definition of grief. Like, there's no beginning and ending of grief. It just is its own thing. So in the kind of 3rd take, that scream just came out, and I had created a really strong, beautiful bond with this little boy. And we'd been in the filming for like a few weeks, and we were just, she's only really interested in what's present, you know. Chloe wants you to just be brave enough to be as present and seen as possible. And I guess that scream, it didn't feel like it was like a scream that was ancient and something, a grief that we all can probably recognize in parts of our lives that just came through.
I've got a question. You you're asking about how she got into it. My question is, how do you come out of that? How do you protect yourself whilst you're in it and then come out? I'm always concerned when I watch your films. I'm always worried about you, the person. I'm always worried about how deeply you sort of lose yourself within them, because I can see it. So I'm always thinking, oh, how do you take care of yourself? So in this particular piece, there's so much grief, so much loss. How do you come back from it?
I have a pretty simple life outside of my work, and coming back to something very grounded is really important to me, like making a slice of toast and gardening or going for a walk, or, you know, those are the things that ground me when I'm coming out of it. For that moment of Hamnet's death, I think sometimes I find it hard to for that moment, I said to my husband, I just need to go away for 2 weeks. Sometimes pretending that you're not in that place is almost harder, you know, to talk about the weather and so I just stayed kind of close by, and I just came back and did very simple things. And I mean, sometimes it is hard to unravel yourself from the things. It takes a moment, but I'm so grateful for them. Like, Jesus, like, it's unraveled the crap that I don't want in my life to become a little bit more human. And I don't want to wear a mask. Like, I want all the shadowy bits to be
On show.
not on show, but just to be like porous and in need, and just get a little bit more human and not pretend I'm like solid. But in between, I just have to I do simple things, and I have an amazing husband, and my siblings, very close to them, and that's it, really. Don't be worried, I'm fine. I also have therapy.
Good. Nice.
Very important. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that maybe as actors we give ourselves permission to feel all the things we're feeling because they're true. And sometimes in life, culture teaches us to not have those feelings. Sometimes I think I'm more compassionate about needing that time than I am in real life when I'm in the thing and I'm supposed to be together and supposed to show up for my kids even though I'm in pain, whatever that is, that those are moments maybe we actually take when we're reflecting on the things that caused us immense pain years before that are somehow surfacing through these amazing characters we've got to play.
It's crazy that like we as kids played make-believe to explore our own feelings without knowing that's why we were doing it, make-believe, and it's so important for kids. That's in their developmental process, like to really just pretend. And I think that's like one of the privileges of being an actor is that like we can play pretend with really no consequences. And we're still exploring ourselves through each character. And then at the end of the day, we get to go home. And we haven't actually done any of the crazy shit that our characters have done. And it's just like, it's therapy. It in some way, a lot of this stuff, it costs us. But it also, anything that costs you probably has some kind of value, right? Hopefully, especially as actors. So I'm like, I always look at it that way now. Like, I'm not like, oh, I have no energy. It's like, oh, what did I learn today?
And it's never one color. There's like rage and there's love and there's like, it's never one color. Like I feel more alive and awake by kind of excavating the kind of landscape of these unspoken things that we walk around cities pretending we're not like feeling, when I certainly am feeling them like every kind of moment. I find it wakes me up and connects. Like I get so much good connection can come from these things, like little moments where people can say, thanks, you saw something that was hard. and I guess hold it for them.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned, kind of learning how to take care of yourself on set versus, when you were speaking about, people taking care of themselves better in the workplace versus in personal, are you like, have you gotten better at that? Or you're saying you're still separating sort of like how you can kind of do what you need to be doing on set versus?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think this is the lifelong journey for all of us, figuring out how to nourish ourselves and each other. Certainly here in this country, we're learning a lot about that. I mean, we're learning how can we be a global community? What does that look like? How do we take care of each other? How do we take care of ourselves and our children? And I'm always so amazed at what we teach children in curriculum, and that empathy isn't some kind of service, is not some kind of required course.
Yeah.
But we all find our way to catching up on that. And we're so lucky that we have these families we make on each film.
Yeah.
And we find our safe people and our people we get to carry throughout our lives with. And even if we don't know how to take care of ourselves or use our voice in terms of autonomy, your question about our yeses and our nos, we have other amazing people who show up in our lives who implement those lessons in our lives as we're starting our careers. So I think it's just, continues to grow. And it's not like this either.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I figure it out and then it all goes away. And then amazing women like you guys remind me of things and I take those to heart.
If the feeling is genuine, you want to work with someone again because you enjoyed whatever the process was. Say with John, he had this wonderful way of not just directing and creating the vision and creating the world, but really making you feel like you mattered as a person. I got terribly, terribly ill, and I got home and there was tom yum soup in my house. And he had sent that. He had made it. And so what I realized in that moment is that I didn't just have a director who I loved working with. I had a director who I loved working with and a person who would be in my life for a long time. So he already knows, if you call me, I will be there. I don't care what the set is. If you need me to be a tree in the background, I'll be a tree in the background. I don't care. And so I think the human part of me wants to make sure that the other human being knows that is how I feel. Because I think often we're too afraid to say when we enjoy something or love something or appreciate something. We're sort of kind of shy about it. But I've gotten to a place where I'm just like, I'm going to compliment the person. I'm going to say the thing out loud so that they know. Whether it happens or not, again, is up to the universe. But at least that person has the knowledge that I want to,
Earlier when you were saying that, of course, no one is an expert in whatever topic their movie is about, I am really curious, like, what is everybody an expert in? If there's something that, like, what's your...
English history.
What?
Are you being serious?
Yeah, English royal history.
Wow.
That is very specific.
I love it. I always have.
I love that.
I just know a lot.
Who's your...
Tutors specifically.
Okay, that was a follow-up question.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's very, very
I have
cool.
quantum physics.
Wow.
I believe that.
That's so annoying.
I believe that.
No, I
so much
started
cooler.
reading it like a year ago. But it's very fascinating.
Who do you read?
My hobby. Like I start off with Feynman, and then he's a physicist, and then I kind of just got into it.
Really? Wow.
But it's kind of like the irrationality of this world.
Yeah.
And going into that, it kind of just is a comfort. Because it's... Yeah. Because
Have you
it's
ever-
like...
Sorry.
No.
Read Carlo Rovelli. Do you know he's like black holes, white holes?
I haven't read it. But
It's good. You should
Yeah.
read it.
So that's your...
So you know about
I don't know anything about physics.
But you read about it.
I have
at
read
some point.
a book of something to do with physics.
But gardening, you said...
I'm absolutely rubbish at gardening. I have grown one flaccid courgette I love my garden.
That's
I can like
important.
plant things, they grow. They're not great.
They grow.
Well, there's a garden there already, so it like does it does its thing. But the courgette, that was the end of my veg patch.
I keep trying to picture it. I can't.
It was small, yellow, flaccid.
It was flaccid.
It was soft.
If she says flaccid one more time, I'm leaving.
I feel like it's obvious, but like for me, music is really like my second language.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you can, I teach it at the drum school that I used to go to.
You are an expert at finding notes and making them fucking throttle your soul.
Yeah.
You are an expert at moving like metaphorical mountains in people's bodies.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to articulate it.
She's an expert at goosebumps.
Yes. Expert at finding things inside of people.
I'm a weirdo though. I'm a weirdo. When it comes to music, it's very strange because I can talk about it forever. But I don't know if this. It's not doesn't make me an expert, but I have synesthesia, so I see
that's so cool.
color with music.
Oh my God.
So I can. You
What
know,
color is this?
blue. That did turn blue. I don't know why.
I'm so glad you volunteered for that because I was going to ask someone to make a noise.
What color is this? Oh.
Oh my God. Wow. What?
What if we all do it together? What color is
Yeah,
that?
can you- if you make harmony.
1, 2, 3.
Wait, you're moving the note.
You did move the note, so it went from yellow to green.
Oh, good. Interesting.
I get it. That makes it, I don't have it, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's a very odd feeling because it becomes so I do a lot of symphony orchestra concerts, and when you hear a concert, an orchestra together, they make a particular sound, and so it hits me in the back of the head. It's very
Is it
strange.
like ASMR or is it a weird feeling?
It's a weird feeling that it's very hard to describe, but it is physical.
yeah.
I have a question. How does that motivate the note? Like, are you like, oh, this is orange, so red would go well with that? Or like, does it not?
I've never thought of it like that.
Right.
Sometimes it's just the whole. The song itself is.
It doesn't inform
Yeah.
you. It's just an experience. It's an
experience.
added
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And I always like the vocal tutors and the people I've worked with. They're very lovely, and they're always like, you have exact pitch. And I don't have exact pitch. I have relative pitch, which means I can hear a note and remember it. But that's not the same. But maybe it's just because I can't read the note. But it's a very strange feeling.
I feel really dumb for saying English history now.
What?
I'm like, stop. I'm like, relax. Jesse, say flaccid
Questions
again.
before the end. But does anyone else have an expertise they want to share? I don't want to move on before.
Yours
that,
is being
but-
adorable.
So I'm just working on it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for chatting.
May I just say,
Yes.
you're all amazing.
Same.
Oh, you are.
I've watched you all in your pieces, and you've all like done some really fucking hard work, man. So like, congratulations to you all.
You too.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty good group. Feels good.
I know.
Cheers.
Honored.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, because you can't.
With my water.